Well, hello guys, welcome back. So I'm not going to be able to monetize this one, but Odin made me remember something that I didn't want to ever remember. And I got really upset and I cried for a while last night. Um, I'm not going to be able to monetize this because we're going to be talking about war and YouTube's new rules. We're not allowed to talk about that. I was in high school in the 90s, and like every other red blooded American, I wanted to join the armed forces. I wanted to go do Army or Navy or something. Really, I wanted to do Marines, but that wasn't an option because if these glasses weren't ground down and made thinner, they would be thicker than the bottom of an old fashioned Coke bottle. I have very poor eyesight. I get that reading material for the blind for a reason. I've been, last eye doctor I went to was like, "We can't have you go there. We can't have you cross the street." I'm like, "Well, lady, I hate to tell you, but I have to cross streets all the time on my own. I just gotta fucking take my chances. I literally cannot just see stuff at times, and I'll say a car just came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. I just didn't see it. It's the damnedest thing. I've had doctors say, "How can you see?" So already we know I would have been, 4F for the eyesight. Still, I have this weird metabolism where you couldn't have put an ounce on me all the way up until high school. I could eat whatever I wanted, couldn't put an ounce on me. High school, I started to pack on weight and I got, I wasn't eating anymore. In fact, I started to eat less. I wanted to join the military, so I hit a gym and I had guys training me on weights and we had my diet down and I kept to the schedule. Wouldn't fucking move. Wouldn't fucking move. Nobody could figure out what the hell was going on because it's guaranteed that if you exercise, I was walking, so I was doing my cardio, I was doing my weightlifting, I was watching my diet like a hawk. Fucking weight wouldn't move. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't, going out and, eating junk food. Fucking weight wouldn't move. So I still go to apply anyhow because a lot of guys were like, "Hey, you want to do this? This is the thing you want to do." Basic will take it off of you. If it can't get off of you, like can't come off of you in basic training, it ain't gonna come off. You might just be stuck. So I went to the army and the recruiter was fatter than I was. And I could just tell from the way he treated me. I was like, the army's not gonna be a good branch for me. And Navy, I just didn't feel called to. Air Force was what I think I would have wanted, but, didn't have the eyesight on anything else. And forget the Marines. They're not going to, as far as I knew at the time, they weren't thrilled with the idea of women wanting to be Marines. And keep in mind, I grew up in a tiny area and we really didn't have interwebs as much back then. So I really couldn't go serve my country. And, I let it go and I knew I would be a liability if I did get to serve, because with my poor eyesight and my slower reactions and these central tremors, do you really want to put weapons in my hands? No, you don't. I have been trained, to use weapons and to compensate, but, that's different than fighting in a firefight. You would not want me to have a weapon in a firefight. You just would not. That would be a bad time for everybody involved. And, it just I suppressed it. I suppressed wanting to be in the military because it just pissed me off. It made me incredibly angry that I couldn't go serve my country because no matter what I did, this fucking weight wouldn't move. And I started exercising like crazy. I over exercised. I started lifting weights like crazy. I was hitting the iron and nothing would work. So I finally suppressed it and decided, well, I'm going to have to live as a civilian and just get used to it. And then September 11th came along. And, by then I'm significantly older and I'm a little past the prime of, military service because by then I'm in my 20s and you could still go serve. I think it's up to your 40s now, but at the time, they wanted the kids out of high school. You were already long into two-fish back in when you were in your 20s and I wanted to go. And you had two types of teachers in our college. You had the hippies who were telling you to run away and not serve, and you had the military people that were like, tell you what, this might be, finally, and it is true, and all Americans usually that came from military families know, said this might be the big one. He said that you were Americans and you can either choose to serve here, be, first responders or whatever, or you can choose if you were enlisted to serve with honor and dignity. And all Americans that come from military families are kind of, we're not paranoid, but we know the big war could come. The war is so bad that every American has to enlist, could come. Every, American of military age could have to enlist. We could hit a war that bad sometime. We can't imagine the circumstances right now, but it's a possibility. So I was ready to serve my country again. I told my mother, I said, if they enlist us, I'm going. And she was like, oh, she wasn't thrilled, but she said, please promise me you'll go in the Navy. And I said, why? She said, I think you'll be safest there. She's like, please promise me you go in the Navy. I said, well, the enlistment doesn't work like that, Mom, but whatever they ask me to do, I'll do. And, I didn't get called. And my dad was like, hell yeah, if they enlist you, you're gonna go. And, again, I wasn't called. And we've been through close things in this country before. It's always come up to the fact that if they bring the enlistment back and we have a bad enough war, they're going to take everybody. I mean, if the war is bad enough, they will take disabled people and they will sit you in a chair and they will give you paperwork or something to do because that frees the able-bodied people up. But it never occurred to me how bad, I'd suppressed it for so long that it never occurred to me how much of that mattered to me. I always wanted to go serve my country, but, like I said, if I stand up, I can't fucking tell you what's at my feet. I just can't. Is it a leaf? Is it dog poop? Is it money? I can't fucking tell you. I have to bend down and look at stuff, or I have to pick it up, and you learn to be careful. You learn to sniff as you're bending down to make sure you're not picking up anything nasty. And, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. And Odin knows that a lot of the people called to him, obviously, are military people, just like Tyr. Tyr and Odin both have a lot of veterans groups under their care. And Odin could see it was really bothering me. And he could see, I was just crying between sad, broken tears and angry tears. And so the drill sergeant or drill instructor came out. Probably more drill instructor. He's more of a Marine than anything else, or the god of Black Ops he was once called. I like that. It fits him. After he pushed me and he broke me from that, and I'm crying and everything else, and I got up and I realized why he pushed me. He just needs that weakness out of me. He's not all love and sunshine. I was fine. I was fine. And I've been getting something from we made all these new boards like America and posted a lot of military stuff on one of his boards, and he's happy. I have to remember that he's a god of war, and sometimes the Marine drill instructor comes out and he pushes makes you cry, and it goes, oh, you gonna cry? And he pushes you harder, you cry some more. And then you finally realize why he's pushing you. It's very much negative reinforcement. Have you seen those people that are slap happy to be in the Marines? They're like, oh, I love the negative reinforcement. Odin's your god. It's the god of negative reinforcement. That's why the power of positive thinking ain't really gonna work with him. And I'm moaning and pissing and whining to Loki last night and saying, he always takes my feather away. And Loki's like, what? I said my magic crow feather. And Loki's like, what? I said, remember in Dumbo, he has that feather. And Loki's like, yeah, but Dumbo could fly all along. That's why he's taking it from you, because you can do this without that feather. And I'm like, I don't care. I wanted that book. And Odin's just looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with her? We have trust issues, I think, at times with our gods. We do. And, I think in the back of my head, I never served in the military, therefore I don't think I'm good enough for Odin. I don't think I should be here. And Odin's like, I don't give a fuck what you think. Get back here. And he grabs you and collars you. You're just hanging there like it's like, yes, sir. I don't know why Odin picked me. I've asked him, I have at times begged him to go pick somebody else, because I said, look, I'm never going to be a warrior. I'm never going to get to serve my country. Will you please go the hell away so I can go work on love and enlightenment and everything else? And the weird thing is, he has strange responses. This angel number thing came up, and to be sure, anytime I'm doing anything for world peace or, angel numbers or something, he just rolls his fucking eye and walks away. And the angel number was about you're pretending to be something you're not. And I got that in a comment from someone, and I've been getting it on Pinterest about you're trying to be something you're not. And I'm like, well, I'm like everyone else. I have a peaceful side that loves love and light and healing and meditation, and I have the war side that's an American that will fucking bomb the shit out of you. And don't look at me wrong. I practice meditation every day, but there's enough weapons hidden in this house that, I could hold off an invasion, at least for a little bit. It would be like, those things where they pull over the guy. It's done as a comedy bit, and he's got like 5 guns and 4 knives and everything else. Yeah, or that little old lady in that meme where the cop pulls her over and she has like 4 weapons. That would be me. I know where all the weapons in my house are, and everything else is a weapon too. So he's like, yeah, sounds about right. So at least I got the heart for it. It's just, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means I should embrace the warrior side more often or what I'm doing. I can't always think positive. I can't always be happy. I think that's maybe what it is. And that warrior side is there. The side that would play violent games is there. I'm just fucking too slow and I can't see where shit goes. Believe me, if I had the eyesight and I had the reflexes, that is all we'd play on this channel. I wish I could. I fucking wish I could. I get so angry with myself when I watch playbacks. I can see the second or third time I watch a playback where I miss something or something else. I get so pissed off with myself, guys. Like, I stepped in that wolf trap and I was so fucking pissed off because I knew the goddamn thing was there. It's not like it was a surprise. I just got so angry with myself. I'm a perfectionist, I think you can tell, and I can't stand it when I don't hit 100 in those games. And those kind of stealth games really piss me off anyhow, because I want a chance to fight back. If I could have fought her at some point, like taking a stand in that river or something, that would have been 10,000 times better. I don't like just having to run away from her. And I think Odin had a lesson in there about, my limitations are my limitations. Until the day the old man snaps his fingers, I'm going to be wearing glasses. I can't fucking see worth shit in those games. There was no way to fight back against her. All that spellcrafting was bullshit. I'm sure better players than I could have went into her area and both stealthed and ran, and I was like, fuck it. The only thing that worked for me was running like a motherfucker like you do in Slender Man. And I didn't like that, and it's like, oh, if I just learn how to run, which way to run, she can't get me. Where's the point in this game? So both liked it, but I was both like, that's all this is. I wish I knew some secret to overcome the lack of eyesight and the lack of speed, but I can't. And that was a dead out sprint, by the way. When I was running, that was as fast as you go in that game, but I have an old potato rig. That might be it too. I don't fucking know. But Odin's just trying to have me come to peace with that. He knows I felt a lot of shame about that, about not being able to go serve my country. I've worked on my weight all my life, guys, and I've lifted weights, I've done bodybuilding, I've done yoga, I've done vegan, I've done, that crash diet was the only thing that worked. It was like 1,000 calories or less. And, I worked out 2 to 4 hours a day. Literally worked out 2 to 4 hours a day. I was fucking creeping the neighbors out. They were asking me if I was having problems at home. And I was like, this is the only thing that keeps the weight off. Just built like a tank. I come from peasant stock, and unfortunately, for us, losing weight is an uphill battle. We don't go out of our way to be the size we are, and that's kind of what pisses me off. Is like, I don't go out of my way to do this. I'm not sitting here eating a tub of ice cream or Oreos or something like that. I've been watching my weight for a month or so now since my brother died, and watching what I eat rather. I was like, well, the weight's gonna be what the weight's gonna be. Been exercising. I've been going out on, walks when I can. I've been exercising in the house, been cleaning in the house. Nothing fucking moves it. And with the fibro on that, fuck weightlifting for long. Even with the kitten weights, as I call them, I used to be able to lift those 20-pounders. And so it's just like he's having me come to terms with, having disabilities is a bitch. And you can have the heart of a lion, but you just can't do what you want to do. So I guess that's a demotivational speech for today. But I think that's why he stopped me from that positive thinking thing, because he knew I thought I apply myself, I pray hard enough, using Odin Bolt or somebody that I'm going to lose the glasses, I'm going to be totally healed, and I'm going to be able to go out and join the military. I'm not that old. I'm only gonna be 45. And I'll be able to go out and do something. And he knows I want to. He knows I try like a lioness, but he knows it's not gonna work out. And I think for some people, they're walking this life with the old man is learning that it's a bitch and it's not fair. But you have to fight then in your own way every day just to do stuff. So that's struggle enough, I think. I wish it was. People who've never been sick will talk to you like it's like all in your head. I'm like, yeah, I wish it was. I fucking positive affirmation things I've done. I'm saying that wrong, aren't I? Stroke. So, anyhow, I just had to come to terms with that, and he can do some really heavy duty work on you. But I'm doing better now. I'm still pissed off that I never got to serve my country, but what can I do? If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, I'll protect the innocent. There you go. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.